Hey y'all, it's your girl Shakira Maybone,
Jada Vassar,
and Anthony Brinson, and this is All Shades of Chocolate, where we bring
the sweetest,
the hottest
Black culture to MSU.
So shout out Mallory. She's brought a wonderful guest on aboard for our podcast today. Shakira, if you want to introduce our guest and have her introduce herself.
Yes, this is Angel Brooks. Angel,
Hi.
or you be, nice to introduce yourself. Like, what do you do?
Hi guys, I go by the name of Angel B. I am an around the way girl. I would like to say I am a pillar in Lansing's community. I don't know a face. I haven't ran across a face that I do not know in a long time besides you guys, you know.
Okay.
But I'm 18.
She out here.
I'm 18.
For real.
Okay, 18.
I'm 18.
18, not the little one.
I'm 18. So, I am a former radio personality, podcast host, event host, hustler, you name it, okay? Angel makes some shake B. I could sell water to a fish. Yes. So I am getting ready to start nursing school. I just completed a class over the summer. So I put the mic down for a little bit, which I was so excited. You guys reached out to me to have me today. So you guys are gonna get my brain going.
Okay, well, thank you for being on here today.
Absolutely, and I want to say I'm proud of you guys. Like I just met you, and I just love this dynamic. All Shades of Chocolate, come on, love it.
Thank you.
From host to another, at least I can imagine they agree. So grateful for that. Like just the short time we've had this podcast and this platform, just it's allowed me personally to have some type of platform to even share my thoughts, and I feel like I'm making some bit of change. Especially do I always big them up dang near every episode and every time we record. Just it was initially their idea when they thought All Shades of Chocolate, and to now be sharing like a table with three powerful Black women, like it means I'm grateful.
Absolutely.
And with me saying that, I don't want to ask, with your transition from being on the mic, being podcasting, and now trying to get a nursing school, what would you say you've been able to take with you in that previous career, trying to transition to another one?
My personality. So nursing school was never on the floor for me. It was always radio. Live, breathe, radio. Radio is something I wanted to do. It's something that I did do, and it's something that I'm okay stepping away from, knowing that I could come back to it at any time. I believe that I put in that groundwork. I've made connections, and connections are very important, guys. You know, never burn a bridge unless you know you don't got to cross it again. So for me, it's taking my personality and my kindness and my work ethic. I personally think there's nothing harder than radio. So that's giving me the confidence that I need to get through nursing school. Am I nervous? Yeah. Okay, because
Yeah, that's why I stumbled over my dang, because we're not supposed to. But
girl, heck,
they're the editors, so
sorry.
We just can't drop like the F-bomb.
Okay, girl. Yeah. I don't say nothing like that, but you might get a little. You might get a little.
Listen, I cuss every move on this podcast.
But no, I know how to get in that mode because you can't cuss on the radio. You can't cuss on the radio. So for me, it's taking my personality. When I had to do clinicals and I went into the nursing home, that's when my personality really kicked in, because you want these people you're taking care of to feel comfortable. I do not want them to feel like a patient. I'm treating them how I would want my family member to be treated, you know? So making them laugh and just being my witty, goofy self is really, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm really just taking my radio career with me, you know? Because I've always been a personality. So
being that big personality and going from one field where you're really communicating to where now you're more communicating on a bigger scale, interacting with people, how do you flip that switch on the bad days of sometimes you may not want to be bubbly or be interactive, and if you have those more harder moments, how do you flip the switch and, like you said, try and make somebody smile if you're maybe not smiling on the inside, or just in general?
So for me, I've always been one of those people where I know how to take my emotions off at work when there's money on the floor.
Okay.
Yes. I know how to hang up that coat and leave work at work and home at home. So, but nobody's perfect. working in the nursing home, it tugs at my heartstrings. You know, like I'm super emotional. Super emotional.
Sorry, no. What's your sign?
A Cancer.
Okay, got it.
I'm a Cancer, y'all.
Every time that happens, I'm so sorry. What does that mean? Because I'm not a zodiac person. So what is that whole? You're a Cancer. What does that mean?
Cancers are crybabies, but I cry on my own time. I'm gonna cry in the car.
Okay, all right.
She gonna cry in the car.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You're not gonna let nobody see, but I'm gonna get this.
Oh yeah. I gotta get this off of me. Yeah, I'm an empath. Yeah, I'm an empath. It sucks being an empath though, because like I could walk in this room and feel everybody's emotion.
Yeah.
So then I have to choose to be the positive person and to like steer this shit, because we still have a job to do. You know, you gotta show up. I'm one of those people, like you have to show up. It's okay to have a moment, but that's why I'm such a great team player. You know, if I recognize, hey, you're having a day, how can I help you? You know what I mean? So,
Come on, team player.
yeah.
And just even feeling that energy of just that, like, hey, what's going on? How can we move forward? That's important, whether it's emotionally or just like you were mentioning, just trying to get a job done.
Absolutely.
And I'd want to transition it over to as I call her, Dr. Vassar, as I sometimes I call her, to just sort of just go ahead and take the floor, just because as much as I joke, I tell both of these young ladies, especially Jada, that I see a lot in her to where that doctor title, I don't just say it just to be funny. And so when I mention like powerful black women on the table, like as much as I feel like I'm grateful to be here, I want you guys to have a good portion of conversation.
Yeah, because I definitely have a question. So I guess I kind of have two questions. So my first question would be, how do you navigate as a black woman, as a powerful black woman, how do you navigate entering yourself in those conversations where you have to talk to people that don't understand you?
Ooh, girl.
I know. It's a heavy question, but I love an answer. I love your answer.
So me and Mallory, we used to work at this place. I won't say the company's name, but
I'm so sorry to cut you off. Due to the things that we talk about on this platform and the things that we may express, the things of this platform are of our own thoughts and our guest thoughts, and not of the state news. They are thoughts of Anthony Brinson, Jada Vassar, and Shakira Maybone, and our special guest today.
I love y'all intro.
I have to do that for a reason. So yeah.
I like that. So me and Mallory, we worked for this place. To sum it up, we were debt collectors. So I learned the toughest skin. I got the toughest skin between being a debt collector and my grandmother. So
That part. You was raised by your grandmother too?
my grandmother was a heavy hitter in my life. Heavy. My granny, she's the one that named me Angel. So my granny was a heavy hitter. I'm a grandma's baby. Everybody's like mama's girls, daddy's girl.
Yeah.
I was a granny's girl. She was so tough on me, but now I know why.
Yeah.
Because I want to be who I am. But so me and Mallory were debt collectors. And
She made the most money, y'all.
I had to. I love Mallory, yeah, but Mallory, I had to be. I'd be like, Mallory, come on, girl, they got it. We just make them give it. Just make them give it. So when it comes to talking to people, and I know it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I personally know how to word things to get them on my page, and I have a lot of patience. So that helps me. Now, every day is different, and my level of patience may be tested in a different way. But so basically, to sum up my answer, it was my previous career as a debt collector.
Okay.
What was your second question?
Oh yeah, my second question is, I kind of want to take it back. Like, what's your origin story? How did you know? You talked about a little bit off the mic, but how did you know you wanted to do radio? And what would you say your biggest challenge was when you did radio?
Okay, so I knew I wanted to do radio when I was a little girl, and I was playing with a radio. I was playing with a radio, and I accidentally recorded myself.
You know, I'm the opposite. We had like 3DSs, and I used to make like voice messages.
Oh, girl.
Like, hey, y'all, this is Shakira today. And I still do this to this very day. So
My age is showing.
girl, you look good.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, thank you so much, y'all. If I told y'all how old I was, I don't think y'all would believe TT.
I still don't.
And I'm gonna call you a lie just for saying TT, because girl, you probably could fit past one of our age.
Thank y'all so much. So I accidentally recorded myself and I played it back and I was like, oh my gosh, is that me? That is so cool. So I'm just like, this is a radio. And you know, back then, before we had cell phones and stuff like that, like people really love the radio. When you think of the house parties or the family get-togethers or even cooking, like our families are listening to the radio. So to know that somebody could listen to my voice and just be cooking, cleaning, having a bad day, or in traffic, I was like, this is something I want to do. So as I got older, it's always been the radio, but my dream was to host 106 in Park. Host
Angel, when I
106 in
tell
Park.
you, I always said that. I was like, we need to bring that back.
We
Like
do.
so much.
We do.
She do
And
say
when
that
they
a lot.
do,
She say
I'm
that a
ready.
lot.
To just lob it over, because she not exaggerating, that we talk about that, to just lob it over to Shakira and y'all, just to off segue real quick, I'm gonna be honest, expose myself a little bit. Not the most hip to 106 in Park. I know what it is.
That was the greatest show all
It was.
time.
So not even
All Black
necessarily.
culture time.
All for the
I'm
culture.
sorry.
All
So
for culture.
based on, and I've since I'm my non-culturedness, I did a little research about it, and it seems like seemed like a pretty eventful show. With that, and having the aspirations of wanting to host it, and then doing similar career paths, both of you, I'd want to ask if you had the opportunity to make your own 106 in South Park. Like, you can't call it that, it
106
can't
in
be
Park?
that, or 106.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. I thought I said one, my fault, but just how would you create your own platform that delivers the same idea of a 106 in Park, but also makes it your own, like a Shakira version and an Angel version?
That is an interesting conversation. Look at y'all.
Honestly, you know, I would just like show my authentic self, like my own personality, by being like modern. Like, see, that's the thing about like being a content creator and a journalist. Like, you have to know like what do the people like, you know, and when you like research that. And basically was like, okay, well, I know this is gonna get people to watch it. You use that in your, you know, your show and stuff like that. But you also have to stay true to yourself. So I don't know. I think I'm pretty funny. Y'all think I'm funny?
Yes, we're bro.
Yes.
So I just feel like with all of that combined with it, it was just like real people in. So like you said, like you know how to get people in. That's
Yes.
what radio personalities
Yeah.
have to do. You
Yeah.
know. So yeah.
Piggyback off what she said, I would definitely be my authentic self. I'm Angel B. That's the only person I can be. I don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to have another personality. This personality is big, and it's big for a reason. Like,
Okay.
I might be 4'11", but when I tell you, yes, I am. You my soul sister. When I tell you, in my brain, I'm 7'3".
Listen,
I am 7'3".
I just want to add on, like, you have to have that, you know, that mindset though, because especially in the entertainment
Oh,
industry,
absolutely.
they look at us like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's so important to have like that big confidence. That's why I said like you really have to walk with confidence. Like I remember a former snoozer here. She was also podcast editor before I came podcast editor, and she was also Black. She was like, one thing that you have to learn from me, you have to walk in the room with confidence. And it's just
Absolutely.
like, yeah, you really do, especially in the entertainment industry, because it's rough out there. So, yeah.
and to
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask on that. I've had conversations with them, and you could probably attest to the fact that sometimes Black women in certain career paths aren't treated the best. And
Absolutely.
you mentioned that you work in media and nursing, and I've had conversations even with them. And my mom also referenced, hey ma, she used to work in nursing, and I would hear these conversations on how they don't take Black women seriously, whether it be from the worker's perspective or the person that's getting the nurse treatment. And I'd want to ask you, you talk about your big personality, and you make sure that that's one of your calling cards, but sometimes, unfortunately, depending on the person you're talking to, that's deemed a negative thing. So being a big personality, being who you are, when you carry yourself, when you carry yourself how you carry yourself, and you may walk in a room that isn't as inviting with it, what is the immediate response of the flight or fight? Like, how do you deal with it? How do you navigate it as an empath, you mentioned, and how do you stay authentic while being in a space that doesn't care for your authenticity?
The first step to that is, I want all of y'all to remember this, is we may not be someone's cup of tea, but y'all need to be Hennessy straight. Always.
I don't drink, but
That's my drink. Off the record.
Drink Drink responsibly.
21 and up.
That part.
This is why I say the things of this podcast are of ours. 21-year-olds.
Hey, but what she
Of the
said, get it
news.
straight.
Wait.
Yeah.
Side note, do you watch P-Valley?
You know I do.
You know what Uncle Clifford said? He said about the cup of tea. It was this quote. He was like, you can't be everybody a cup of tea because you won't have any for yourself.
That's right. See,
That
and
part.
I live by a few Uncle Clifford quotes. I remember before my transition in, can we talk about religion a little bit?
Yeah, you can talk about it if you want.
So before my transition, I did the removal prayer, and you be careful when you do this removal prayer.
What we say all the
You
time?
gotta be careful when you do the removal prayer.
It worked.
Yeah,
Listen.
All the time.
it really does. And I remember Uncle Clifford, he said, folks don't understand. It get lonely shining so bright.
I miss P-Valley. They need to
Could
hurry
you
up
repeat
and
it one more
put that
time?
on.
Folks don't understand. It get lonely shining so bright. So with my bigger personality, it can intimidate people. You know, it didn't weeded them out, girl, in the dating life, in the friend life,
I was
in the
just talking
family
about that.
life.
Don't get me started in the dating life. You know what? Never mind.
We can jump into it.
I just personally feel like people are so scared of bubbly women.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, because I don't know. In my experience, I feel like whenever I talk to someone and I be like trying to make them laugh and stuff, like, cause they don't they don't make me laugh. So I feel like I have to make somebody laugh, But it's like
When you're funny, you're funny.
Okay,
So,
but I just feel like people just don't like that, like yeah.
so are y'all dating?
I'm in a relationship.
You are.
I'm not in a
Really?
relationship.
Really, hold on, I'm gonna mess with her again. She the relationship guru. 5-6 years.
Right.
5-6 years.
And
What's today? The 18th.
Right, she has coming up. Yeah, almost. Almost, right? Or has it passed? Oh, it passed? Yeah, it passed. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how many? 5 or 6?
5.
So I like that.
So when I took my intermission from the radio, I know that I prayed to God and I was like, I'm ready for a relationship. And I that was my prayer. I had been single for 4 years, and dating in the radio scene is very hard, especially if somebody is kind of in the same field as you, because they may want your sauce.
That part.
And I'm the type of person, I could give you the sauce, but it's not gonna taste the same.
Exactly.
I'm a girl's girl, and I look out for the fellas too. I want to see us all win. However, I can smell BS. I can smell BS, and I can know if somebody is stepping on my toes to try to take my spot. But I got to a point, and I was like, there is not another spot. This is mine. You know what I mean?
What's meant for you is always gonna be meant for you.
Yeah.
So
I think guys, it's not that they don't want a bubbly woman. I think sometimes they get intimidated when you got a good head on your shoulders.
I hear that a lot.
Y'all gonna make me go live. This is
And I'd actually want to even piggyback on that, because as a guy, and I talk to them all the time, that sometimes I jokingly say I'm frustrated to share the gender of the same as men, because you get in situations where you get the confusion of like, are they intimidated? Are they for me? And I guess the question to create in that, I'm in this field, I've noticed, and you even mentioned it earlier, that you got to make relations, and you got to, sometimes they say it's not about what you know, it's who you know. But when we get in these conversations of mistrust and mistreatment, I'd want to ask, in navigating that field, and even from transitioning over in the nursing field, because apparently I be hearing like it be tea in the hospitals. So like I say all that to say, or in the wherever I hear it's tea in the medical world.
Listen, yeah.
And I say all that to ask, how do you constantly build those relationships while navigating through the snakes in the grass, let's say? And how do you keep those relationships and want to maintain those relationships even after going through smelling the BS experiences?
I'm one of those people, I don't take it personal. I don't take people's actions or attitudes personal. I got to a point in my life where I was like, everybody can have a bad day. So at the end of the day, I'm one of those people. My coworker, is still my coworker. Whether I like you, you like me, at the end of the day gotta end. And we just trying to get some money and go home.
I know that's right.
You know, I'm not petty. I'm gonna help you if you need help. If you need some advice or however I could step in to help this day run smoothly, I'm gonna do that. So no matter how a person treat me, especially with some paper, some money involved.
Let some payment involved, some cheddar, some bread. Listen, I better get some lingo.
Yeah, when some papers involved, like their perception of me, can't nobody say Angel's lazy, Angel's not a hard worker. I am a team player. Okay, whether you like me or not. So that personal relationship, I can't speak on that. But that business relationship, that coworker relationship, outstanding. Always.
That part.
So as far as the snakes in the grass, I'm gonna tell y'all, always keep some paperwork on somebody. Always
I think I got you, but could you expound upon that?
Always keep some paperwork on somebody. If you know somebody, you working with somebody and they hating on you, and they clocking T, and they trying to watch what you do, watch what they do.
Some would say, keep your friends close.
And your enemies closer. Yeah. But as long as you're doing what you're doing, God gonna stay spinning the block for
Yeah,
you.
that's what I was gonna say. Like,
God is gonna stay spinning
I'm
the block for you.
opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? They got it, you know?
Used to be like that.
Yeah.
I'm still a sweetheart. But when it come to pay, don't play with me.
That's me. That's me.
Because I clock out at 9.
She love money.
Man, because the money don't stop. Yo, we have an assignment. So I felt you, because it's like, if we have work that needs to be completed, they know there's nothing stopping the work from getting done. We have to complete the work. Outside of this place, that differs. But the work has to be done because we have a job to do. We got hired here for a reason. So we all have to work to complete that. So God, I got you. I'm a sweetheart too. I love people. I want to help people. It's like, Molly, don't do that.
I'm gonna answer your second question. Your second question was like the hardest part of navigating the radio. So I got into event hosting. Yeah, so I will host events, open houses, club appearances. I helped out with Common Ground. Y'all may not be from here. Common Ground is like, it used to come to Lansing, and we would have different artists.
Would you expound upon what Common Ground is a little more?
Yeah, it's like a festival. Different artists will come to Lance, and we had Ludacris, Snoop Dogg, Wale, Nipsey Hussle came one year. Yeah. So,
the amount of people I just know you met. You don't even. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I'm
Ask her
sorry.
about Nipsey Hussle.
yeah, I didn't meet him. I didn't. And when he passed away,
bro.
she probably said that. Ask her about Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
If I were to take the bit of advice from Miss Mallory over here, she mentioned a bit of background information about you as a person.
Nipsey.
First of all, to be just serious, she mentioned that you are a great woman in general, and I can just express that I've been blessed to meet Mallory as well, and you as well. Just as I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, I don't take these sort of conversations for granted. And in one of the things she mentioned about you, she mentioned Nipsey Hussle.
Man,
so I can imagine he might be one of your favorite artists if I were to take a wild guess.
And it's not just because he's an artist. I loved what Nipsey stood for, generational wealth. You know, I remember when he died, Mallory was like, "What's wrong?" Like, I was so tore up. Boo, who called my mom? Like, that was my Tupac. I got a tattoo for Nipsey. But yeah, like, and his saying was, "The marathon continues."
I love Nipsey too.
No matter what, the marathon will continue.
So in that of Nipsey, I want to ask: would you say you're a music person just in general?
Absolutely.
So
In the radio.
I was about to
Some
say.
people not though, girl.
Yeah, that and in learning that, it's also been pretty weird to understand like they're in that field but not be in the music culture. But in hip hop, in talking about it, you mentioned Nipsey Hussle. Who are some of your other like standouts, favorites? Anybody that comes to mind?
My absolute favorite artist, and don't throw no shade at me, y'all, because people be having mixed emotions on my man. Because this is my man, Jermaine Cole.
Oh.
I love Jermaine.
Listen,
They were like the biggest J. Cole fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
Jermaine,
You have one. I can't pick.
You can't.
I can't pick.
I got a
have
favorite
so
recent
many.
one.
What's your favorite
So
one?
to answer your question, one of my more favorite recent J. Cole verses is from a song with battle rapper Daylight, A Plate of Collard Greens. I don't know if you're familiar of it. The rhymes, first of all, just that title is a lot in there, but with J. Cole, he's one of my favorite artists, and his writing style more recently, at least the part of his writing style that gets my brain going like in a like, oh my gosh, he's doing this, is the more internal rhyming of like A to B, and like, and that's when I go into it in terms of like rap and all that hip hop stuff. But did you have a favorite like J. Cole?
I don't have a favorite
record?
song. I have a favorite album, and I feel like I said it on
I
there
do too.
before.
Okay, all right.
Hold on. I got you.
All right, while she's looking,
I
do you have
got
a
you.
favorite J. Cole song or project? Anything?
Yeah, I got 3. Born Sinner. I play Born Sinner.
Is that your number one favorite?
Yes.
My favorite
Like favorite
song
album,
by-
or is that your song?
The song.
Well, I love the
play it
song.
every
That's my
day.
favorite album, and I love that song.
Yeah.
James, I don't know how to say the guy's last name who features on the vocals on that song, the
Yeah,
vocalist, but
amazing.
yeah, I love Born Sinner. as a
Amazing. And then he dropped this this song with Summer Walker.
project. Call me if you need something. No copyright.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that
Yeah,
genre.
that was different. And
Yeah. Love that verse.
I love Deja Vu. Yeah.
I'm not
Deja
hit by
Vu.
name. I don't know it by name.
I put a finger in the sky.
Oh yeah. That's my jump.
Yeah. J. Cole, to me, lyrically, ain't nobody messing with Cole.
Okay.
Punchline, ain't nobody messing with Cole.
You got me, cause I
into it.
wait,
That's
cause
my
I
favorite
think,
album.
I think he number. All right, we gonna get into that. Cause I almost agree with you, cause J. Cole's my second favorite rapper. There's somebody,
get into a
but we gonna get into that. We gonna get into that.
First.
She wanna answer her question first. We gonna get that. We gonna get that.
Before we get into it, y'all, I just want to say my favorite J. Cole album
I'm waiting for you to
is
finish.
2014 Forest Hill Drive. That's my favorite album.
You was
I need to
coming.
listen to that
I knew
mixtape.
you
I've
was
never
coming.
actually listened to it from start.
yeah.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of other one. Yeah, that's
beautiful.
Platinum No Features. Platinum No Features. Mm-hmm. But to
Now
this.
get into it, bro. Come on,
Cole
bro.
word.
To the
Man,
Cole,
Cole
listen.
Word.
So before I get into the better, so between, I'm gonna be a little messy for the crowd real quick. So you mentioned J. Cole, nobody touching J. Cole. So would you agree that he's the best of the big 3 between J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake? So thank you. All right. So first of week. Oh, you don't?
I do.
You do? Okay, we cooking. We cooking a little
I'm
bit.
not really a Drizzy fan.
Ah, damn.
Yeah.
See, I ain't go that far. I ain't got. Hold on.
Drizzy got 3 songs that I listen to, and 2 of them I work out to. So,
What song?
Nice for what?
That's that
Okay,
jump.
Oh, I was just
like,
talking to that song.
you gotta be nice for what? You gotta teach me how to twerk. Teach me how to twerk.
Hey, if y'all want to, hey, shout out to our All Shades of Chocolate Patreon. If you want to see certain things, you know, joking.
Yeah. Take Care.
Okay, that's right.
And Marvin's Room. Listen,
Is that that?
drink responsibly. Do not Marvin's Room and drive.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never know where you're gonna end up.
That
Yeah.
Take Care album was like
Yeah.
bad.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But you asked him, you said nobody can mess with J. Cole lyrically. You know, I think, number 2, well, him and Wayne, even though Lil Wayne's a whole other.
Oh yeah. I don't even count him. He retired.
No, Wayne still make music.
I know, but as far as like getting out here and doing stuff, I don't see Wayne doing that.
Yeah, and I don't either, and that's a whole nother
Yeah.
conversation. But Dave alluded to it, my favorite rapper is Eminem, so I'm a big Eminem fan. And
Yeah. A nice.
so
nice,
other than M, you saying J. Cole the best? I don't bet I too, unless
I
that man from
like
Detroit.
Eminem.
Hey, listen, it's that guy. Man, I don't. Hey, if
So
Eminem,
y'all like Big Sean?
yes, I like Sean Fire. Yeah,
One man could change the world. It got me through some tough times.
Man, what?
Yeah.
That's that song right there.
man.
Yeah.
So could you do a Mount Rushmore greatest hip hop or rappers of all time?
I'm not really into rap, guys.
Oh, okay. Well, we can get even interested. Okay, what type of music do you prefer?
R&B, yeah. R&B.
Wait, who's your favorite R&B artist?
Let's see. We can get into some R&B.
Do you like Party Next Door?
Mm-mm.
No.
Dang.
I'm old, y'all.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta.
Old school.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like-
Okay. So, like, are you a millennial?
I don't know. Wait, how old is that? What age
That's
is
like-
that?
We're Gen X, I think.
No,
Gen
not
Z?
Gen X. You're Gen Z for sure. Are
She
you?
older than me?
How old is you, Mel?
26.
Oh, I'm older than her. TV about to be 30 in a year and a half.
Yeah, you're
30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again,
28, I'm about to be 29.
since you're my guest, I don't want to call you a liar because you don't look no 30, girl. Nah.
I got him
I'm
25.
28.
Okay, so you listen to like Pretty Ricky, you know?
Yeah.
I know.
Pretty Ricky is
better know
crazy.
Yeah, no, she ain't lying.
Hold on, wait, because I listen to old school music too. I grew up in that household. I grew up listening to the old school.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite old school artist?
That's why I said you gotta teach me how to twerk because I know how to hip roll.
But you don't know. It's like, I know how to do it all. Listen, all aunties, they literally your age.
This is a
like, they
blackest
like from 30
conversation.
to like
Hey,
28.
listen, y'all see I'm sitting here
I
smiling.
know it all,
Freaky.
honey. I know it all.
Cause CT that twerking, I got a bad back.
Stop playing.
Wait, who's your favorite old school artist?
My favorite old school artist, it's a few of them. How far you want to go back? Cause we can go
We
back.
can go
to
back.
We can take it back to Uncle Charlie and the Gap Band.
Okay, we can go farther than that though.
Yeah, now you in her wheelhouse. When we on rap and Eminem and Jay, now you in hers. Yeah.
When I need to make a decision or my heart is just feeling heavy, I play Donny Hathaway singing a song for you. Yeah, singing a song for
My
you.
God.
And as somebody who's older and who has went through therapy, now that I listen to that song, I hear his cry for help. You know, a lot of times people don't understand that these artists, in our eyes, they have everything, but in their eyes, they have nothing. You know what I mean? So it just takes me back to my favorite scripture. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world yet lose his soul? You know what I mean?
Amen.
We've had conversations where we talk them in that similar light because, like you mentioned, just we think they have everything and they have everything we want, and sometimes we may want the notoriety, fame, and fortune, but when it brings, and that's one of the things that's sort of like, it's almost scary to think about when people have so much status and so much success, but their mentality or their mind is such in a prison, and it doesn't allow people to get out. And it's one of those things I think about when like trying to pursue careers and trying to get big, and just I'm the type of person where I don't need to be famous. Like I'd rather be stable than famous. And in that sort of journey of just navigating, we talk about music, pop culture, news, when you finally get to a career point where you're getting money for it and you're making like a career, and now you've transitioned to another one, was there any, like, if there was any anxiety to transitioning from one field to the other, how'd you handle it? And now that you said you're comfortable to where now you were at a place where you could leave the one career field to go there now, do you have any more, A, how did you deal with the anxiety of transitioning those career fields, if there was any, and B, how long do you plan on being in the nursing field?
I am a science person. I'm a big science person. Unfortunately, God have to hit me in the head with a stop sign. So for me, hopping into nursing, it was one of those things to where people in my immediate family, nobody is in the nursing field, and my parents are getting older. So I want to be the one to take that baton and know what I'm doing when I take care of them, because I'm not trying to stick my people in a nursing home. You know, my stepfather passed away of cancer.
Really?
And I knew the business side of things because I wear many hats, and I was in the corporate world at the time. I was working for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. So I knew the business side of things, but I had no idea like what to do. I wouldn't even know how to change a bandage at that time. So I was like, oh shoot, you know, I need to further educate myself on this. And it's actually something I accidentally fell in love with, you know, because the radio is my first love. But I'm one of those people, I'm never satisfied when it comes to money. So hopping into nursing, this is a bag.
She's a go-getter.
Yeah, this is a bag, and it's something that I love, so why not merge the two? You know what I mean? So the anxiety for me, I got through it with prayer in the village. You know, my village stands behind me in anything I want to do. My mom knows her child is a little crazy. Whatever I want to do, my mama gonna stand behind me. If I tell my mom I want to do a Tubi movie, she gonna be like,
Shout out to you.
I can see you on that
if I
screen.
tell my mom I wanted to try out for the dirty dish, she gonna stick beside her child. And I grew up in the church, so that's a blessing to have a mother who's non-judgmental. You know what I mean? But I did have a lot of anxiety. It was so hard for me to be like, okay, I have to step away from the radio just for a second. And that's honestly what helps me. I keep telling myself, this is just for a second, this is just for a second, this is just for a second, because my program is only a year, you know? So I just gotta, think like this, but I think like it's just a bid. Like I gotta turn myself in for a year and just furtherly educate myself, you know, get a certificate under my
Just, like,
belt.
exploring different avenues. Ain't nothing wrong with it, you know.
Yeah, it's hard though. Especially like still being in the 9 to 5 world, because it all gotta make sense. You have to take care of yourself. You have to have money coming in. When being in the radio is what I love, so it's hard doing what you love and then doing what you don't like. So I know that I love nursing now and I love helping. So having a 9 to 5 right now, I'm not happy. I did the radio. I loved it. It's not work to me. It's what I love to do. Yeah. So going into an environment and you're not happy, like I will be. Oh, I could tell y'all this. I will be at my desk searching up radio topics, doing my show.
Thinking about a segment.
Yeah, like because I don't want to be here. So,
And in that, 2 questions I want to ask. Just you mentioned that sort of unhappiness. Would you have? Are you someone that live with regrets? And you mentioned that you're currently in a position that, yes, you're trying to transition, but you're currently in a position to where it may not be favorable. And some religions would say that there may be another thing behind the door, and that's why you're in this. You're going through this to get to the next step. But for some people who may not have that sort of mindset or may not be religious, and I'd also want to ask about your religion, just being in a position where you're unhappy and like you just expressed, what do you keep in mind other than your show to keep you going?
when I'm unhappy, I think of God's grace and where I've come from. I know I used to dream of becoming this woman that I am. You know, like she's flawed and I'm still going through so much, but it's just like I've turned into the woman that I used to look up to. You know, so when I'm unhappy, I think of how far I've come, not how much farther I have to go, but like, dang girl, look how far you've come. So that's something that keeps me grounded, and I try not to be a complainer. You know, somebody is always worse off, you know? So try to be thankful of what I do have, and I always wake up and I say, thank you, God, for the blessings that I have and for the ones I have yet to receive.
I don't ask this facetiously because I also am a Christian. I would want you to tell your story from this perspective. That's why I'm about to ask this. When serving your religion and believing in the things you do, sometimes, you know, as a Christian, as a fellow Christian, you hear the song, you know, my God is awesome. So how would you talk about your God, and how would you, if I were to ask you, why do you believe in God? How does it help you get throughout the day and all that? How would you answer that based on your opinion? Because again, the things these platforms are our own. But in your opinion, why is it something that keeps you going, or how is it something that keeps you going?
I got baptized when I was 4 years old. I grew up in the church. Father, Son, Holy Spirit Ministries is my grandpa's and my uncle's church. Church is something that's embedded in me, but as I get older, church is just a building. Church is in your heart. Worship is in your heart. God is in your heart. So, stemming back from what I just said, when it comes to God, first of all, he's ahead of my life. He will always be ahead of my life. I know God is real because of things I've been through and the things I faced. Personally, it's nobody but God. You know, it's not me, it's not man, it's God. Like, I've literally seen God step in on my behalf multiple times. Even when I didn't have this voice that I have now, God has always been my voice, and he's always like turned it around. And if it doesn't get turned around, like I said earlier, what's for me is for me, you know? So part of being a believer is knowing when to walk away. You got to know when to walk away from a job, from a relationship, from a friendship. You have to know when to walk away, because God, my God, he know I'm hard-headed. When it's time for Angel B to let something go, if I do not let go, it's gonna hurt me so bad to where I gotta let it go. You know what I mean? Like, it's got, like, I'm holding on, but he is gonna, like, let it go, girl, let it go, let it go. Didn't I say let it go? Then I let it go. But God replaces, for me, he replaces what is taken away. So.
And I love that answer, and that was so beautiful.
Do you deal with that? Like, again, especially in the entertainment industry, you know, people, they already got big personalities, and you got a big personalities, and it's clash. So how do you deal with that, and how did it basically motivate you to keep going to do what you do?
how do I deal with aggression
yeah.
or like I said, I'm personally not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm Hennessy straight, you know, so I'm gonna always be me. And it took me a while to get to this point, but I'm at the point now where I know if something isn't gonna work, whether it's a job, relationship, friendship, I know off of one interaction. So I think in the entertainment world, in hosting entertainment, promoting, is too much going on, and a lot of people want to be the head and not really play their position. Everybody want to be the boss. It can only be one boss, and that's completely fine. But people think just because they're not the boss, it's a bad thing. So if I walk into a situation and I'm uncomfortable and I feel like this is a little bit too aggressive for me, I just simply remove myself.
That part.
All money is not good money.
That part.
So I know we're about our bag, but all money isn't good money. You gotta know when to walk away.
You just have to pick and choose, basically.
Absolutely, absolutely. And God will pick and choose for you. What's for you will always be for you.
Exactly.
And one of the things I want to end off of, I actually want to pass it right back to Shakira, because we were talking a little bit off mic, and I can't remember if we've mentioned it on this episode yet, but you have your own show, or you've had your own show. And I'd want to throw it to Shakira or pass it over, because we talk all the time of how you have had your own platform, and you've mentioned it a little bit as well. So I just want you to talk about it before we get out of here, because I know I wish we could keep you for longer.
Okay, first of all, like,
We
what
got 6 minutes.
do you talk about in your show? Like, is it comedy? Like, what is it?
I think naturally I'm a funny person.
That's
I think naturally I'm a funny person. I talk about anything. If y'all want to get serious, we can be serious. If y'all want to crack jokes, laugh, we can do that. If you want to pray, we can do that. So, like I said, I wear many hats. I'm one of those people. I like to say I'm a chameleon. You can place me in any room, and I'm gonna do what needs to be done. So,
yeah, because my own personal podcast, it's called A Project Got a Show. It's on Spotify. I started it when I was like a freshman here. I'm like now a senior here in college.
yeah.
I was like wasn't sure like how to move forward with that, honestly, because I started off as like basically like a lifestyle show. Like I talk about literally anything from traveling to shopping to like finances and stuff like that. But I'm into like movies and things like that, so I think I want to like
Transition.
transition to that. So I was just like wondering, do you have like any advice for that personally?
Just do it. The good thing about podcasting is when I was heavy into podcasting, we would do seasons, but now I don't agree with that. Just keep going. These people, your fan base, have fallen in love with you because you're you. So if you want to talk about men one day and talk about movies the next, just do it. You know, don't think too hard. That's the beautiful thing about being a personality, is you can be yourself, and when people rock with you, they gonna rock with you through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, so don't be scared. You just gotta do it.
Thank you.
You got it.
And with that little piece of advice, first of all, I appreciate that as well, because it's the sort of same thing in my mind. I also have my own podcast as well called the What's on Your Mind podcast. And just when trying to think about navigating guests and navigating content creation while dealing with other things, I can imagine you could, in a literal sense, understand that it's difficult. And just one of the last things I want to ask you about your show, and just with all the hats you have, all the careers you've done, just what's one takeaway if you were to think about from the time that you started your first position? I don't know if the first job was in radio or was anything else, but from the different areas of your life, how do you feel looking back on everything?
Looking back on everything, I am very proud. I'm very proud of the growth, the time, the patience, the blood, sweat, and tears that I've put in, and I look forward to keep growing. Like I said, radio is one of those things that is in me. You know, y'all know I love Nipsey. Nipsey Hussle. You know, it's in you, it's not on you, and what's in you, they can't take away. So for me, it's okay for me to step away for a little bit, because I know it's gonna be there. And I built those relationships so I could be like, hey,
I'm back.
That's your girl.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how I feel, and I want y'all to remember that anything you want to do, you absolutely can do it, because who's stopping you? It's you versus you, literally. So just always remember that.
And I feel that's a beautiful ending to this episode, and just regardless of the show. Just one more, I'd want to express my gratitude one last time, because whether it was that last thing or this entire episode, it made me feel good just hearing it, getting the advice, and just I can attest and agree that your energy is very infectious in a good way.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm proud of you guys and what you're doing.
No problem at all. We would love to have you back if there's any other time or any other connections. Listen, we can make this a little series when we have Angela on.
Okay.
And with all of that being said, again, I hate that we have to end this episode, but this has been All Shades of Chocolate, where we've brought
The sweetest.
The hottest
Black culture to MSU.
And remember to stay sweet. Bye.
I love that.